You and I would say that the gospel itself, the proclamation of that truth, is the power of God unto salvation. And they would say it has no power to save apart from the signs that must accompany it to give it its power to save. They also believe that exorcisms are essential to church ministry. Frank Hammond says this, quote, ultimately, deliverance must be restored to the church. It is as much a ministry of the church as preaching, teaching, and healing. Jesus performed all these ministries and commissioned the church to continue them, close quote. And therefore, deliverance is also must be essential to everyday life. Listen to this from Frank Hammond. Deliverance should be so commonplace in your home and in your church that you have experiences like this. Quote, he's describing how it's sometimes necessary for deliverance ministers to receive deliverance themselves. So he writes this, quote, I learned this lesson myself in attempting to minister to my wife. We realized the demons were responsible for certain tensions between ourselves. One day when we were at home by ourselves, we decided to minister to one another in these areas. As I called for the demons to release her, she was thrown to the floor and evil spirits began to speak through her. One demon made a direct accusation against me. I knew that I was guilty of what the demon accused me. It put me under such condemnation that I could not proceed with her deliverance. It was necessary for me to confess my sin, ask her forgiveness, and have her cast the demon out of me before I was able to continue with her ministry. This bonded us with love and forgiveness and shut the door on any further interference from the enemy, close quote. Now nothing, and I mean nothing, says date night quite like exorcising a demon from your spouse. So men, if the fires of romance have died down a little bit and that honeymoon glow is worn off, you might consider a deliverance service. When I read that, I was immediately struck by this question. How is it that she was able with a demon in her to cast a demon out of him, but he wasn't able with a demon in him to cast a demon out of her? Right. Friends, the Bible doesn't teach any of this, other than the true stuff that I said earlier. It teaches that. But it doesn't teach any of what we're talking about with these demon slayers. The church is not